you want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Build it and they will come. This is a New Jack City, homie. Turn up your sound component wherever you are right now.
We jack up the volume, we'll be able to tell what you had for lunch.
The next hour is going to change everything you think you know about building your business, starting your business, and raising the money for your business.
Show me the money!
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another Reg.A Money Show. This is Ron Costa here in the Reg.A Money Studios in Las Vegas over the iHeart Radio Network, among others. And we also have Miguel Dotris. Miguel, as usual, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. It is nice to be in the studio with you here in my shorts and my T-shirts for all my fellow New Yorkers and New Englanders and all you people up in Chi-Town. I am so sorry, you guys. I got that chilly weather up there. But me and Ron, we're sitting here in our T-shirts and shorts enjoying the Las Vegas West Coast flavor weather.
Oh, my God. Should we be embarrassed about that? Should we feel guilty about this, Miguel? I don't think so, right?
Nah. You guys can write in. If you want us to feel guilty, you can write in and tell us, we were listening to the show and we should do a prize, Ron. Whoever writes in to the Reg.A Money Show, we should give them a prize to see who is listening to the show in the coldest of weather. We should send. So we got a little contest going on for you guys that are listening to the show. Send Ron an email at the RegAMoneyShow.com, okay? Because you can. I think it's info, right, Ron? Info at RegAMoney.com.
Info at RegAMoney.com. Correct. Yes.
We want to know what's the coldest temperature that you guys are in listening to the Reg.A Money Show. So what's the temperature in your hometown while you're listening to the Reg.A Money Show? And there's a prize for the guy or girl listening to it in the coldest temperature. Maybe we'll send you a little heat, something to heat you up with. Who knows what the Reg.A Money Show guys have in store for you. But speaking of in store for you, Ron, do we have a mega show today or what, man?
Oh, I'm telling you, we have a great show lined up as well. Just we were talking about it before we got on the show today, Miguel, how one of our guests just rang the bell at the Toronto Exchange. How about that? That was really big. That was Brock Murray, who came on a couple of weeks ago. We started talking about his Catapult software company. So it's nice to see more and more companies succeed in Reg.A, and this is a big one. This is real big.
Of course, you're ringing the bell at any of the exchanges, be it the New York Stock Exchange or the Toronto or Germany. Hey, all of that. The Reg.A Money Show is doing something that nobody else is doing over the airwaves, over the podcast, over the internet. We're bringing information. We're bringing the segment that we call our contenders and our qualifiers. We're bringing guys who are qualified offerings. We're bringing guys who are contenders, who are thinking about bringing offerings to. But there's a lot of success that's coming from this show, and as you can see, because we're being picked up and syndicated by Amazon, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, all these different formats and platforms that have taken a hold of the Reg.A Money Show content and put it up because they realize how important and how current the information that Ron and I have dedicated ourselves to bring to our listeners every week. And not only do we bring the information, but we're bringing people who are actually applying what we're talking about to their business and then having success. I think that's a beautiful thing. That's like, by leading by example, right, Ron?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're pointing to success stories from the show, from all the articles that we write and post online. We just had Darren Marble on the show last week, and for those people who are listening to the show, Darren referenced how they were about to announce a pretty major deal with a celebrity, and immediately after the show, the next day they put out the press release, which became the Virginia Black Whiskey deal, which is now on bank.co. So, although we kind of didn't break the story, we broke that little teaser, I think, Miguel, which is another reason why I think a lot of people like to come on the show and just kind of give our audience their steps and the things that they're doing to make their Reg.A successful and even just, promote it.
No, absolutely, and that's what it's all about. You know, you guys, we always talk about the affinity group. We always talk about building your crowd and getting your message out there, and that's an important aspect of it. You know, because you come in here, we vet some ideas out, we vet some companies out, we talk about different things, and you know, these companies, Ron, they use the opportunity to come on to the show with us to kind of, you know, vet themselves out, to practice a little bit, to make sure that they got their presentation right, because it's very important. You know, when you get stuck on the elevator and you got to do that 7.5-minute elevator pitch to somebody, you don't want to be stumbling over yourself and trying to come up with the right words to use. You want to be sharp, you know. And that brings me, you know, to the point. You know, we're always trying to improve the show. And one of the segments that we brought onto the show, which I think is very great, Ron, that we have this audience participation, you know, is our mailbag. It's our email segment. You know, we always get that email segment that comes out. You know, we got a very interesting question this week. You know, we got a guy from South Dakota. He's writing in. His name is Richardson. Okay, Jay Richardson from South Dakota. And he had a very interesting question for us, Ron, which I think that, you know, he kind of tied it into last week's show. And I'm just going to read this out, and then I want you to give me your thoughts on it. Hey guys, love the show and what you guys are doing, bringing information about Reg.A since it's so new. My question revolves around the guest last week that you had, Darren Marble, talked about the institutional investors coming in on the big offering, the $50 million offering. Do you guys think that there is going to be a big company, a brand company that will come out with the $50 million offering? And what do you think it's going to take for something like that to happen and be backed by an institutional investors? Love the show. Keep it up.
Okay.
And that's it. So what do you think? What do you think about that, Ron? I mean, that's something that we touched base a little bit with Darren on the show last week. What do you think?
We got Darren. Darren is almost certain. That's one of his big predictions that's going to happen. And as we all know from a previous show, that threshold has been even risen to $75 million. Darren says that he expects the $50 million to happen this year. And I'll tell you what, this guy's been on just about everything that he has predicted so far. And I'm at the point where, knowing this guy and knowing what he does and what CrowdfundX does in his company, I tend to believe him. I think it's going to happen as well. And if he says it's going to happen, I would bet that it's going to happen because he's that good. He's that spot on so far, at least.
Yeah, and you know what? And if I can weigh in on that, you know, I first of all, thanks for the email, guys and girls and listeners. You know, we want you guys to, you know, if you get a question, there are no stupid questions on the Reg.A Money Show. They're all questions that, you know, we take. We can't get through all of them all the time, but we kind of pick out a little bit here and there, and then Ron does a pretty good job of answering everybody, and we will get back to you with any question that you may have. So, you know, and if your question doesn't get asked on the show, you know, hey, you'll get an email from either myself or Ron, and we'll try to address, you know, any of the questions that you may have. Yeah, we try to reach out to everybody, okay? But yeah, my feelings on this, Ron, is I think that, you know, you got a lot of institutional guys right now, big banks, small-time banks. And what I'm thinking is that, you know, you're going to see not a major bank, but you are going to see some mid-level banks that are going to try to break into capital market funding because you know, this has become something of an opportunity for them. You know, the economy is really kicking off right now, Ron. The Dow's at 2,600 points. You know, everything is cranking. You know, the machine is really starting to be well oiled, okay, and you're starting to see it. And this is actually the most productive part of the year for most businesses, you know, this January through May and June, you know, not a lot of holidays, you know, so you don't have to worry about that. So there's a lot of productivity going on right now. So what you're going to see, Ron, is you're going to see one of these mid-level banks, or maybe, you know, one of these guys that are trying to break in as an institution. You know, maybe they have a small retail business, a retail arm of their bank, and they may want to have some discretion discretionary funds that they're trying to, get a nice return on their investors for. I really do think that they're going to see one of these brands, a brand that has a lot of recognition, that's still a privately held company. I can think of a couple of companies like, Publix here in Florida is one of the largest employee-owned companies. Okay, so most of the employees own all the stock in that company, and what a great way to reward your company's employees by taking the company public and allowing those employees, those guys who have 20, 25 years, 15 years, get a little liquidity on all that stock that they have, Ron. So I think that $50 million threshold and soon to be $75 million, Ron, is going to fall in 2008. And everybody, you've heard it here now on Reg.A Money Show with Ron Costa and me, Miguel Dotres. We are now confirming the prediction from Darren Marable, okay, on the $50 million offering here in 2018. And thank you so much for the question. We really do appreciate it very much. And I think we got a great show, Ron. We're gonna on the second half of the show when we come back, we're gonna talk about something that's very important, Ron, and it's the makeup of the offering. How do you get to that $50 million offering? Well, when we come back on the show today on Reg.A Money Show, we're going to talk about some of the elements of the offering and what makes a strong offering, and what the offering that's going to be filed on the Form A1 that is being used to file Reg.A pluses. Okay, Tier 2, of course, is what we like to focus on here on the Reg.A Money Show. So you guys, you got to stick around so we can come back and we can talk about those elements and the things that have to be part of a great offering, and we'll make it up. Let's build it up so that way we can talk about some of the different things that you should have on there. What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, it's a great topic, and I think everybody who is a Reg.A contender, like you mentioned before, definitely is going to want to stick around for the second half of the show. So let's take a quick break, Miguel, and we'll be right back.